Yo, kind of a weird start to a video. I'm like almost through it, but I'm coming back to the start to do this little condensed intro thing. Basically just to say, if you're looking for a microphone setup to start doing YouTube, start maybe podcasting, or doing game streaming, like this is a really good budget option, as long as you're already at the point where you've got an audio interface and a spare XLR cable. If you want to check out either of the microphones reviewed in today's video, there's going to be links below so you can see the price point for you and where you live. I've conformed it into dollars for today's video, currency that most of us can get our heads around.
Let's keep it real. I'm independent, I don't need no deal. I'm jaws on the beat, I got a flow that kills. Do my thing with a few G's, Lauren Hill.
What's up guys, it's Unders, and in this video, I'm going to answer this simple question. Can this budget all-in-one mic set compare with spending sort of 100 to 200 euros on a decent condenser mic like the one I've been using for the past 4 years? So yeah, the guys at Tonor were very generous and sent me out this new budget mic set. Now I was expecting an XLR cable maybe and a microphone. However, it's pretty much the full set minus the XLR cable. So we're gonna have to dig one of those out of the Epic cable bundle. Hoping I've got one spare. The thing that's really taken me aside with this whole thing is I've had this condenser microphone, the one just behind me here, that I've used for, I don't know, hundreds of recordings of my voice and samples and other things over the last few years, and it's been an absolute workhorse. But it does cost about 215 euros to buy, and it just comes with a cable, an alternate cable to plug into an iPhone, lightning cable pending, see if that still is around, and that's pretty much it. It's useful that you can plug it into other devices like that, but that's pretty much all it is. The arm, the pop shield, everything are all extra. Now, what Tonor have sent me, it's a set ready to go. So if this microphone is comparable, I don't really know if I can then recommend getting a mic like this anymore. I suppose the big thing to do is now set it up and we'll test them side by side on a bit of a VO work and see what kind of treatment we need to do one to the other, and really see if spending that extra money is worth it, or if like this all-in-one budget set is gonna be the new way to go. So let's set it up, I guess. You usually see this with quite like high-end mics, and it's a decent, like well-balanced elasticated cradle, which is kind of cool. Seldom happens, but if you ever accidentally knock your mic out or anything like that, always just have the cable looped around here nice and tight. You can usually use the Velcro just to tie it on there. If it ever does drop, it just only falls as far as that cable. So if you are going to go for this kind of mic setup over the USB mic there that plugs into any universal USB, you'll need something like an audio interface. So this is just the Apollo Twin. It has a couple of outputs, a couple of inputs, but it does support XLR as well, meaning I can unplug one of these two here and use either of those channels. Let's see what we can get vocal recording wise out of it. All right, so as you can see, I've got both mics set up. The new Tonor audio is here on the left. My standard, the IK Multimedia iMic, is here on the right-hand side. I've just measured them real quickly and they're going to be equal distance, so I can just turn to speak to either of the mics that I need to do. Now, to make it a fairer comparison, especially as this is sort of a 200 euro mic, I've got a pop shield here. This doesn't come with a pop shield. I'm just going to fold the pop shield away, so it's just going to be clear into each one. And what we'll do, we'll have a listen back to those blind first in the video. I want you to try and guess which is which, and then I'll just reveal them. There's going to be some differences between the two. I'll show you my chain I use on my vocal to make sure everything sounds clean and consistent time over time with this particular mic. And we'll try the same chain on the Tonor mic as well and see if the results come out as competitive, comparable, better. I genuinely don't know at this point. So let's dive in and record into Logic. This is an audio test comparison of the Tonor Mic and the IK Multimedia iMic Studio, raw and unaffected. This is a comparison of the Tonor Mic and the IK Multimedia iMic Studio, raw and unaffected. This is an audio test comparison of the Tonor Mic and the IK Multimedia iMic Studio, raw and unaffected. This is a comparison of the Tonor Mic and the IK Multimedia iMic Studio, raw and unaffected. So did you manage to guess that correctly, just based on listening it and knowing kind of like the budget and price point? I hope you did. If you did, leave it in the comments below. Let me know what was the big giveaway for you. So yeah, maybe that was surprising to you. There's clearly a big difference, especially in the body and fullness of the voice on the iMic Studio, the IK Multimedia one. It captures a lot more of the real depth and how a voice actually sounds. However, notice there was a lot more noise on that recording as well, and that's due to the cradle here. So I did this while recording to sort of simulate a common environment. I've got the iMac spun up. There's two drives here in the back. They're also spinning up. All of that vibration, while being a really minimal low-end noise, it travels through this arm and there's no cradle to support it. The cradle on here eliminates a lot of that noise. That's a really, really nice feature to have. However, the bass recording, there's a big difference. Now, is it $150-ish different? I don't think so at all. I think this did a really nice job. It's just that this does stand out, but I could buy 4 of these kits for the price of that mic. And is that a trade-off that's going to be massive? I don't think so. I think value-wise, that's amazing. The arm is really good quality, and the cradle is also a great feature to have at this price point. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to jump back into Final Cut, my video editing software I use, and I'm going to show you what I would usually do to the iMic and then what I would do to this mic, and let's see if we can get them so they're kind of side by side, not really distinguishable. Okay, so we're now inside Final Cut, and this is the editing of this video. Some weird Inception stuff going on. But what I want to show you is what effectively I would end up doing to this audio, and we want to get it side by side comparable. So just here, I've got the 2 bits of audio back to back on both mics, just bounced out. This is an audio test comparison of the Tonor Mic. This is a comparison of the Tonor. So let's just split these 2 up. What I usually do for this is I have a chain. I've got a couple of chains for different uses, and I can just drop that over onto the vocal here. And I'll break them down very quickly for you. We've got something called NS1. What this does is it helps remove that background noise. I basically just set a threshold and it suppresses the noise for me. So let's just switch these off. We'll progressively listen to what happens. So listen to how noisy this is. This is a comparison. And if I switch the NS1 back on, we'll play that same bit. This is a comparison of the tone. That noise is almost entirely gone, but there's a couple of ebbs and flows in there where it sneaks back in. That's where this next tool called RVox comes in. What we've got going on here is 9 dB or up to 9 dB of compression and a gate at 35 dB, meaning once it's no longer past that 35 dB marker, a gate shuts in. And the compression just captures the vocal where I ebb and flow just to keep everything nice and flat. Tonor Mic and the IK Multimedia iMic Studio, raw. You can hear the gate there take any additional noise out that might be sat in. Just after that is an EQ, and all the EQ does is take out the really extreme low end. This mic captures just about everything, so if I was to tap on the desk, it would really rumble out, so we just take all of that away. And then there is a limiter right at the end, output into YouTube. There needs to be some headroom. I actually don't really do anything apart from take the overall volume down by 3 decibels. That's all the limiter does. So just using that same preset, do you think we can improve the Tonor Mic? Let's find out. Let's have a quick listen to it. This is an audio test comparison of the Tonor Mic and the IK Multimedia iMic Studio. Well, it's definitely a lot thinner. Let's see what we can do here. Let's bring my preset over to it and we'll drop that on it. Let's see if that's improved it. Hopefully it's taken away some of the little fuzzy noise in there. This is an audio test test comparison of the Tonor Mic and the IK Multimedia iMic Studio. Well, I would say that's done 90% of the work straight away. Now, what is definitely apparent, let's just take the end sections off of these here and we'll just snap them together. Of the Tonor Mic and the IK Multimedia iMic Studio. This is a comparison of the Tonor, and it's really that weight and body in the voice. You can really hear it. I think we can kind of replicate that, and not necessarily replicate it, but resolve it. So what I've done to the Tonor mic here is I've tamed these frequencies here just above 500 hertz. There's quite a big spike in here that sounds unpleasant. If we control it, it's quite nice. And I've lifted up the real low end to add some body to it. Now they're not identical, but it absolutely gives us really quite a nice usable voiceover. What I'll do now is I'll leave them in the video for you just to have a listen one after the other. This is an audio test comparison of the Tonor Mic and the IK Multimedia iMic Studio. This is a comparison of the Tonor Mic and the IK Multimedia iMic Studio. This is an audio test comparison of the Tonor Mic and the IK Multimedia iMic Studio. This is a comparison of the Tonor Mic and the IK Multimedia iMic Studio. So the final verdict, well, the mic is really good build quality and sounds good enough. With a bit of post-processing, it can sound a really high level microphone. The fact then for about $60, it's also bundled in with a really good quality cradle that also helps with noise isolation against things like vibration, and a really good, if a little bit bulky, recording arm is an absolute bargain. And if it's your first mic, you're looking for podcasting, recording, doing voiceovers, starting YouTube, live streaming, yeah, it's a really solid buy.